5 people on board the tourist submarine that disappeared on an expedition to explore the Titanic shipwreck over the weekend did not survive a catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber, officials said Thursday. The announcement came after the U.S. Coast Guard said the massive search underway in the North Atlantic had located a debris field on the seafloor, which was confirmed to be pieces of the missing sub. The company behind the voyage told reporters that the passengers, including OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush, have sadly been lost. Here's what we know so far about the submersible craft and what led up to this point. What happened? A 5-person crew on a submersible named Titan, owned by OceanGate Expeditions, submerged on a dive to the Titanic wreckage site Sunday morning, and the crew of the Polar Prince research ship lost contact with the sub about an hour and 45 minutes later, the Coast Guard said. The Coast Guard first alerted mariners about the missing sub Sunday night, saying a 21-foot submarine with a white hull was overdue in giving its last known position. Vessels in vicinity requested to keep a sharp lookout, assist if possible, the alert message read. The sub was lost in an area about 900 miles east of Cape Cod, in the North Atlantic, in water with a depth of about 13,000 feet, which is about level with the depth of the Titanic wreck. It had less than 40 hours of breathable air left as of Tuesday afternoon, Coast Guard officials estimated, and search and rescue efforts by a unified command composed of several international agencies ramped up accordingly. The 5 people aboard included an operator, later identified as Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate Expeditions, and 4 mission specialists, a term the company uses for its passengers, who paid up to $250,000 for a seat. Who were the passengers aboard the sub? CBS News confirmed that the 5 people aboard the submersible were Hamish Harding, a 59-year-old British billionaire, business owner, and explorer, British-Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood, and his son, Suleiman, French explorer Paul-Henri Nargeolet, who had made multiple dives over the years to explore the Titanic, and Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate Expeditions, who was serving as pilot. Just ahead of the Coast Guard briefing Thursday afternoon, a statement issued by OceanGate spokesperson Andrew Von Karens offered condolences to the families of the Titan crew and recognized that all 5 people on board the submersible were believed to be dead. The company said in the statement, "These men were true explorers who shared a distinct spirit of adventure and a deep passion for exploring and protecting the world's oceans. Our hearts are with these 5 souls and every member of their families during this tragic time. We grieve the loss of life and joy they brought to everyone they knew." When the Coast Guard confirmed the sub's likely implosion on Thursday, Mauger said they were communicating with consulates general in both the UK and France. The Dawood family, of the large Pakistan-based global business conglomerate Dawood Group, issued a statement Tuesday confirming their family members were on the expedition. The Hussein and Kulsum Dawood family said Thursday in a statement through the Dawood Foundation, "Please continue to keep the departed souls and our family in your prayers during this difficult time of mourning. We are truly grateful to all those involved in the rescue operations. The immense love and support we receive continues to help us endure this unimaginable loss." Nargeolet, a renowned French explorer and former diver for the French Navy who was part of the first expedition to visit the Titanic wreck in 1987, was returning for another dive aboard the Titan submersible. In a Facebook post on Monday, Rory Golden, an explorer who became the first Irish diver to visit the Titanic wreckage in 2000, said he was part of the voyage but was not on the submersible that went missing. Search and rescue efforts. Authorities said early Thursday morning that a Canadian vessel, Horizon Arctic, had deployed a remotely operated underwater vehicle that reached the seafloor. The ROV ultimately located what the Coast Guard originally described as a debris field on the seafloor, which included identifiable pieces of the sub, authorities confirmed that afternoon. Mauger said,
"Morning, an ROV or remote operated vehicle from the vessel Horizon Arctic discovered the tail cone of the Titan submersible approximately 1,600 feet from the bow of the Titanic on the seafloor. The ROV subsequently found additional debris. In consultation with experts from within the Unified Command, the debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber."
Mauger said authorities were still working to develop the details for the timeline involved with this casualty and the response, and referenced the incredibly complex operating environment along the seafloor, over 2 miles beneath the surface. Paul Hankins, an undersea expert for the U.S. Navy, explained during the news conference that crews discovered 5 different major pieces of debris that told us that it was the remains of the Titan. These pieces included, initially, the nose cone, which was outside of the pressure hull. "We then found a large debris field," Hankins said. "Within that large debris field, "We found the front end bell of the pressure hull. That was our first indication that there was a catastrophic event." A second, smaller debris field was located shortly after, and the debris found there comprised the totality of that pressure vessel, Hankins said. "The debris field is consistent with a catastrophic implosion of the vessel," he said, adding that the team will continue to map the debris field area. Discovering the Titan debris came after multiple agencies from the US and Canada spent days scouring thousands of square miles of open ocean in search of the missing sub. The US Coast Guard announced Wednesday that underwater noises were detected in the search area and that searches involving ROVs were focusing on the area where the noises were heard. On Wednesday, 3 more vessels had arrived to join the search, including one with side-scan sonar capabilities designed to create images of large sections of the seafloor, the Coast Guard said in a tweet. That vessel began conducting search patterns alongside at least 2 others, as multiple military and other agencies worked together under a unified command. Just after midnight Wednesday, officials said aircraft had detected underwater noises in the search area, and underwater search operations were relocated as a result, though the origin of the noises remained unknown. The sounds were picked up several times Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, according to the Coast Guard. That combined search area grew to about twice the size of the state of Connecticut, and the subsurface search extended down as far as 2.5 miles deep, Frederick said, stressing that the search and rescue teams were dealing with an incredibly complex set of circumstances. What caused the noises? Frederick acknowledged that the sounds detected underwater by Canadian aircraft could have been caused by multiple sources. Carl Hartsfield, an expert in underwater acoustics and the director of the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, which is on site at the search area as a consultant, explained that it can be challenging to differentiate between human sounds and nature sounds coming from beneath the surface. The ocean is a very complex place, obviously human sounds, nature sounds, and it's very difficult to discern what the sources of those noises are at times, Hartsfield said. Meanwhile, Chris Roman, an associate professor of oceanography at the University of Rhode Island, told CBS News that, technically, it was possible that the sounds detected by search aircraft could have come from the lost submersible. Sound travels very efficiently underwater. If people were intentionally making noises within the sub, it's very likely they could be detected with a sound buoy, and that position can be translated into a new search area, Roman said Wednesday. And I think that's what the captain said there in that brief, referring to Frederick's comments during that day's news conference, so that is encouraging. He also mentioned that there's a lot of other things in the ocean that make noise. The sub has emergency oxygen and a 96-hour sustainment capability if there's an emergency aboard, Mauger said. In a statement Monday after news broke of the missing sub, OceanGate confirmed the missing submersible is theirs and that a rescue operation had been launched to find and recover it. The company said it was exploring and mobilizing all options to bring the crew back safely. The Titan, dubbed the Titan, OceanGate's deep-sea vessel, was said to be the only 5-person submersible in the world with the capabilities to reach the Titanic's depth nearly 2.5 miles beneath the ocean's surface, CBS Sunday Morning's correspondent David Pogue reported last year. Weighing around 23,000 pounds, has the ability to reach depths of up to 4,000 meters over 13,000 feet and has about 96 hours of life support for a crew of 5 people. In 2018, a former employee of OceanGate Expeditions, submersible pilot David Lockridge, voiced concerns about the safety of the Titanic tour sub and filed a lawsuit against the company. Lockridge, who was fired by OceanGate and sued by the company for allegedly disclosing confidential information in a whistleblower complaint to the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, said in a court filing that the Titan would carry passengers as deep as 4,000 meters even though the depth had never been reached in a sub with its type of carbon fiber hull. According to his claim, he learned the vessel was built to withstand a certified pressure of 1,300 meters, although OceanGate planned to take passengers to 4,000 meters. Ahead of his planned dive last summer, Pogue recalled signing paperwork that read, in part, "This experimental vessel has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body and could result in physical injury, emotional trauma, or death." Space inside the submarine was similar to the interior of a minivan, and, with just one button and a video game controller used to steer it, the vessel seemed improvised, with off-the-shelf components, Pogue said. On his voyage, the sub was lost for a few hours, Pogue said. He reported at the time, "There's no GPS underwater, so the surface ship is supposed to guide the sub to the shipwreck by sending text messages, but on this dive, communications somehow broke down." What could have happened inside? Butch Hendrick, president and founder of Lifeguard Systems, a company that conducts dive training for public safety officers, told CBS News Tuesday that it's possible the Titan had reached the ocean floor when it lost communication. Hendrick speculated the Titan Titan could have gotten itself entangled somewhere, which could have caused the communication antenna to become dislodged and broken, prompting the vessel to lose communication. Hendrick also ventured that it was more likely that the Titan would have leaked and flooded rather than imploded. He said that, at the depth of the Titanic's wreckage, the pressure is about 5,000 pounds per square inch, psi, greater than the pressure at sea level. There's no opening a gate. There's no opening a window, there's no making an interactive lock, Hendrick said, adding that a possible leak could potentially impact the submersible's electrical system. Were conditions right for the dive? Michael Harris, founder of RMS Titanic Incorporated, a company that salvages artifacts from the Titanic wreckage, told CBS News on Tuesday evening that Titanic expeditions are generally conducted within a 3-month weather window between the end of June and September, when the ocean waters are at their calmest. Harris, who has led several expeditions to the wreckage site, questioned why the Titan's dive was conducted as early as Sunday. Who was Hamish Harding? Harding, the first of the passengers to be publicly identified, had previously posted on social media about joining the Titanic shipwreck expedition. In a post shared to his Facebook page on Saturday, Harding wrote, "I am proud to finally announce that I joined OceanGate Expeditions for their RMS Titanic mission as a mission specialist on the sub going down to the Titanic. Due to the worst winter in Newfoundland in 40 years, this mission is likely to be the first and only manned mission to the Titanic in 2023, Harding's Facebook post continued. "A weather window has just opened up and we are going to attempt a dive tomorrow. We started steaming from St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada yesterday and are planning to start dive operations around 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. Until then we have a lot of preparations and briefings to do." That post was Harding's most recent social media update related to the submarine trip. It included multiple photographs of him, including one that showed Harding signing his name on a banner that read Titanic Expedition Mission V and another that pictured the submersible vessel itself. Richard Garriott Decayer, president of the Explorers Club, where Harding helped found the Board of Trustees, said they spoke last week about the expedition in a letter to club members after the sub's disappearance. "When I saw Hamish last week at the Global Exploration Summit, his excitement about this expedition was palpable. I know he was looking forward to conducting research at the site," the letter said. "It was potentially scary, but I was so busy doing so many things, navigating and triangulating my position, that I did not really have time to be scared," Harding told the week after that excursion. This is an updated version of the story. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time.